for me personally, I know with all of us, it's been like a revelation to us to discuss. I know you've done one before, Kellie, haven't you? But I mean, for myself, I think for you, Tanya, as well, running is
zero running to suddenly 13 miles of running.
It's not easy either, is it?
It's
if you're
crazy.
not used to it, it's a difficult thing to start because I mean I'm not just making this up. I actually can't run. I can't because I get tired after 1 second. How do you get past that?
But that was literally me, like, in 2 weeks before December. I said, I thought we were going to be walking it. I really thought for some reason.
Yeah, I would.
You know, I literally, the first time I went out, I was about a quarter of a mile. I was like, God, I'm never going to do this. This is crazy. And then
you're all addicted
3 weeks
now.
ago, we've done 13.
It's a brilliant medicine, I think, running as well. Because when I did the marathon, I can't believe I did it, but I found it really helped with...
did it.
Twice!
Sure, twice.
Was it you?
A marathon.
No, I ran a marathon twice. But I find it really... And my husband as well, he uses it to deal with stress and anxiety.
Yeah.
It's
Makes
an
sense.
incredible, powerful medicine. So I was one... But also, you need a lot of sleep to be able to run. So how is that for you? Because you are with Barbara right through the night, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I mean, it's not too bad. I'm a bad sleeper anyway. I'm just someone who wakes up on the hour for some reason, and I don't know what I do. I look around, maybe I put the radio on quietly and listen to that. But thank goodness, as a rule, Barbara's really good during the night. I always say yet. It hasn't happened yet. And I can only ever talk about Barbara and my experience. But of course, as we know, there's 850,000 people living with dementia that we know of.
And how is she since you last came on and had a chat with us?
How is she? Well, she's watching today again. She's...
Hello,
Barbara! What can I say? When I was last here, I told you that there were moments of confusion where she wouldn't quite know where the house is. So from about 5 o'clock onwards, which I believe is quite common with Alzheimer's patients, it's called sundowning. So as it gets darker, they become more confused. So Barbara is on this loop, and she knows I'm going to be talking about this. I tell her before I do every interview and every radio show, I remind her that we talk about the symptoms, and she's taken a lot of comfort from the fact that it has been helping people, which we've been told it really has. So, I'm not embarrassing her. I'm not making her look, in any way bad. But it does become a loop where every night from that time, 5 onwards, she will constantly ask me the same question about the house. How long are we staying here? How did we get here? Are we going to be here long? And I constantly, gently remind her that this is our home and where we live. And then occasionally she'll look at something and say, oh, yeah, there's photos.
And you've got your board up, haven't you?
I've got the board up with all our pictures, kind of from when we first met, and, I'll point down to that.
Little memory joggers and things.
Yeah, exactly, which she loves. Because, of course, she goes back, I guess the clearest memories for Barbara are way before me. So her clearest things are definitely, her early career. It's like you talk to her a lot about it, don't you?
Lovely chats with her about her early theatre days. And,
Oh, she remembers everything about
fantastic.
that.
Lovely conversations.
I mean, the whole point, obviously, of you telling your story in the first place was to raise awareness, and that's what the marathon is about as well. And the last time you came on, I was blown away by the response that we had online and how many people are actually affected or living with people with either dementia or, well, I mean, dementia's the umbrella term, isn't it? But how they are affected by it.
Yeah, I mean, one in 3,000,
isn't it?
Yeah, 800, and then 1 in 3 people are diagnosed. No, one person every 3 minutes.
Every 3 minutes.
Is diagnosed with
And people don't really talk about living with it, so I think that's why it's so important.
I think that's what
that you tell your story.
What kind of help do you get, Scott, as well? Because you can't do it all by yourself, can you?
No, I don't. I have carers in now, and I felt really bad at first when I brought the subject up because Barbara's initial reaction was, why do I want people I don't know in the house. Look, I can be by myself. Barbara's fiercely independent. She always has been, and I think that's a really difficult part for her, is that independence has gone, and I constantly have to remind her why she can't be left by herself because of her confused moments. She calls them her blackouts. So when we're sitting talking, she'll suddenly maybe hold her head and say, Scott, I've got one of those blackouts. Where are we? Which is hard to watch for any loved one, anyone who is going through this with a loved one. My heart goes out to you. It's the most, you're powerless.
So the running is kind of a nice, good bit of respite for you, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Do you know, that's what it's done. I think, and then things like what Nadia was saying, it's a time when I've learned, and the same as you, Tanya, before mid-October, when I came on here last and announced I was doing a marathon, I hadn't run. So I've suddenly learned that, you know, I got into it like same as you. After the first mile of the first run, I thought, what have I signed up for? I'm never going to do this. And as it's gone on, it's absolutely fantastic.
You're like Forrest Gump now.
I know. I know, but you kind of hear yourself, don't you?
And I know, sorry, Nadia, I know it's day by day with Barbara, because, like, if you... So when we're going to have lunch, for example, I just ring up in the morning and go, is this a good day or a bad day? Do you hope that she's going to make it to the marathon, to the finish line, to see you all?
Oh, God, that's the dream. That's the dream. And, you know, everything's being put in place for her to be there. And I know, you know, I know what she's like. She will be determined to be there. I know that. And that, you know, hopefully will be the thing, certainly for me personally, when I want to cry and my legs are hurting and I want to stop. The vision of her at the other end. Exactly. Having a go at me for not turning up. So yeah, no, that's going to be really the ultimate thing for us.
It's wonderful, isn't it, that you found something for you, because for all the carers that are listening, it's so important, isn't it? Because you have to stay strong mentally and physically to be able to support them. And also, so it's so amazing that it's a double-edged thing here, isn't it? You're getting the running for you and the medicine, but also raising money and awareness for dementia. And you're doing really well with the fundraising, right? Is that good? Is it good, the fundraising?
We need more.
We're not quite there yet so far, and thank you to every single person that has donated. And I promise you, I look at every donation and I show Barbara every donation, and she absolutely loves it. She really does.
You've just had twins, or you've got young
They're 3.
twins? Yeah, well, you've got little kids.
Yeah.
And where'd you get the time with work and kids? And I mean, it takes up a lot of time, doesn't it? The running, the training.
Yeah, any moment I can, like, you know, just try
You're out
and
there.
run. Just when, you know, when they go to bed, just get out there and do some running. Or if I've got a day off, you know, we meet up and run.
Yeah.
Just whenever I can.
But I've also been finding as well that I've been running from my house to the train station now that I never used to do before. I used to walk. It used to take 12 minutes, and now it takes 6. It's like...
Get it in every little bit of practice.
Any old excuse to
Ladies, it
just
must be
run now.
wonderful for you, because you're particularly close to Barbara, and for all of you to be together to do this incredible thing. It's a very bonding experience amongst all of you. We saw the little video there. It's not just you two. There's a bigger group of all of you coming together. That must feel like it's something that you can do almost, because you feel helpless in any other way in many respects, don't you?
The support's great, isn't it? We have our own WhatsApp group. And the support is great. Everyone posts their runs up or their injuries, which we all get, because, you know, I think that's part of training.
And of course, Tanya, your stepdad had Alzheimer's as well, didn't he?
He does, yeah.
So, you know, you're affected personally as well.
Yeah, and actually the lovely thing about it, through this happening, is that now Scott and my mother are now in contact. And so there's 2 carers there that are able to now communicate and support each other as well with, you know, they're going through similar things. So more has come out of this, and I can really encourage that from a carer's point of view, that it is the carers need to look after themselves as much as anybody, because it's
tough.
Yeah. And you've seen Barbara, have you? You've recently.
Tomorrow. We're running tomorrow, so I'll probably see her tomorrow.
You will see her tomorrow. Yeah. unless she's got plans I don't know about.
But this is what it's all about. It is about awareness, us talking about it from a carer's perspective, as well as the person who's suffering with the disease. And if we can do that, raise as much money as possible, which we've just been
For
talking
the Dementia
about.
Revolution.
Absolutely. And maybe one day we can actually do something about this. Maybe there will be a breakthrough.
Well, we hope
that
so.
will make the difference.
They are. The scientists are really, really hopeful that in the next decade they can find a major breakthrough to prevent it, to stop it in its tracks. And I think we all need to be thinking about future generations with this, because it's something that's going to affect everyone. There's no doubt about it. And if we can save other people and families from the heartache of it, that's why we formed Barbara's Revolutionaries.
Absolutely.
To get on with this.